the 125s, they will line up, I think, from rows 1 to 6, and 7 to 11 will then be occupied by the 400s, and they will effectively start from that point. I'll probably find that totally stupid, and they'll probably move forward to row 1, but I don't think so. I think that's pretty well how it works. They wait there for 1 minute, and then they set off on the instructions of the timekeepers. But the machines are beginning to come to us now. Gordon's got the red flag in hand there. A masterly job he does there. The cart brings us forward, and number 4 should be in pole position, Robert Dunlop, with Chris Palmer and Darran Lindsay. First number I see is got a 5 on it, and the one behind that is Locker. Not seen Robert yet. Yes, I have. Oh yes. He's coming down the inside here to take his position on the front row. So Robert Dunlop's there, 5 also there. Chris Palmer, Darran Lindsay just moving through now into his place. Ian Locker on row 2. So the 125s, they've been stopped. The 400s are behind them from row 7, as I said, with the other red flags. So they're forming behind. I can see 31 back there. That's Alan Oversby in what will be pole position in that 400cc event. So the marshals just checking that, and the organisers just checking that the grids are correctly formed. Shuffling back there, I can see number 40, no, not 46, but we're told we're okay, certainly for the 125. That race is going to be away very shortly indeed. We're off. A very good, clean start. And of course, I was wrong, because they are moving forward to the front row. So they were stopped at row 7, and now number 31 moves into his position, Alan Oversby. Of course, they'd have to go further, Morris, wouldn't they, if they started at row 7? Sometimes it's the sun. It's the sun. We're not used to that. 31, 25, Paul Dobbs. He's in position. And at 23, also there, Dave Madsden Migdal, as the seconds tick away for this, the start of the 400cc event. Mark Parrott, evident on row 2. Number 9. Number 16. John Burrows, number 98. Just looking back there, no, it can't be number 98, but it is. Number 98, Dave Moffat. Number away. Very quick start there, just looking back there, but certainly Mark Parrott and John Burrows safely away. So both of these fields away for the Steam Packing Company 125cc 400cc event, and we'll try and keep you in touch with all the timings and the actions around this 4¼ mile circuit. Remember, 6 laps, 25.5 miles. A race won last year by the 125cc event, won by Chris Palmer. The 400cc event won last year by Dave Madsden Migdal. Ian Locker and Chris Palmer both looking for various wins. Let's go over to Cross Fourways.
Yes, we can certainly hear them. I think there's about 15, 16 125s absolutely heading towards us like a swarm. And it's number 4, Robert Dunlop, and 1 and 5, Ian second, Chris Palmer, Ian Locker, and then Darran Lindsay. 29, the other man, and Nigel Beattie's in there as well. And streaming through they go. There's Penny Jervanek. Number 44, the last of the riders through. Number 44 being Barry Davidson. So the race being led by number 4, Robert Dunlop, with number 5, Chris Palmer, right behind him. Ian Locker third. And then Darran Lindsay, number 22, Nigel Beattie, and number 29, that's our top 6 here. Number 29, that's as many as we could get through, belonging to Tony Court on the 125 Honda. So we've got the watch running to see what the difference is. It's usually about 50 seconds to get to you, Morris, but we might just be able to get the leader of the 400 race through. Give us a knock if that's not the case, because we can hear them hammering down towards us here now. The 400's distinctive sounds of those 4-cylinder machines as they approach Cross Fourways. But over to you, Morris, for the 125s.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tight, Roy, as the 125s come there, but don't worry, we'll shuffle it backwards and forwards if we need. Chris Palmer leads Darran Lindsay and Robert Dunlop. Only half a second separate the first 3 in the 125cc class. But But I think, Roy, let's go back to you for the 400s.
Alan Oversby leads at number 31 from number 25. Number 25 being Paul Dobbs. In third place, number 9, Mark Parrott. And we then have in fourth, number 23, Dave Madston Migdal. In fifth place, number 90. We have to go down the programme for that. We just can't find number 90. Obviously must be a mistake there. 98 it is. My apologies, Dave Moffat. So the 400's well through us here now, with the race being led by number 31, Alan Oversby. And remember, it is a separate race. They couldn't be too far away from you now, Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. They've been spotted up on Castletown Bridge. But let's just repeat that Chris Palmer leads the 1-2-5 1-2-5s from Darran Lindsay, Robert Dunlop and Ian Locker. But here comes the 400s. 25, 31. So 25, Paul Dobbs. 31, Alan Oversby in second place. Great performance by Paul Dobbs there. And they're streaming through here now, and they'll try and shuffle those into some sensible position. But Paul Dobbs is actually going quicker than Chris Palmer. Sorry, a little bit frog in the throat there, but it's Paul Dobbs from Alan Oversby in that class number 25. Paul Dobbs leads Alan Oversby, and I'm just looking at that, is number 31. They're all now shuffled in together, so the overall race leader, I suppose, is Paul Dobbs and Chris Palmer. Over to you across four ways.
Yes, we can hear them, and it's number 5, Chris Palmer, who leads, but 4 absolutely together. Darran Lindsay takes third place there. Right behind him is Robert Dunlop in second place, and Ian Locker there as well. 29, Tony Court, on 31. 31, the last of those going through. It couldn't have been 31. 21 it was, in fact. They're just getting everything sorted out here, but tremendous battle in the 250. There's number 22. And the exhaust has gone on Nigel Beattie. You can hear that. We were looking out for him. The exhaust has gone on it. Nigel Beattie. That's the way it works out on that. So 31 leads in the 400 class, but on the second lap here, Chris Palmer, number 5, had taken over the lead from Robert Dunlop, with Darran Lindsay in third, number 55, and number 1 fourth. But they shouldn't be too far away from you, Morris.
Yes, thanks. They're on the bridge with spot on timing once again. 4 or 5 there, certainly in the 125cc class. So will it continue to be Chris Palmer? But it's very close indeed. It's Palmer, Dunlop, Lindsay. And Dunlop and Lindsay together, there's Locker. So the first 4 through there, Chris Palmer, Robert Dunlop, Darran Lindsay and Ian Locker, 29 and 32. As Tony Court and Michael Dunlop complete their laps, 52, 28 and 51. So a lap there for Chris Palmer of 2:40.966, but the quickest lap of the 125s was set up by Robert Dunlop, 2:40.672, 95.225, and he's just 0.2 of a second behind Chris Palmer and 0.1 of a second ahead of Darran Lindsay. Ian Locker then is 1.5 seconds behind that. So Palmer, Dunlop, Lindsay and Locker. What's the position in the 400s, Roy?
Number 25 leads Paul Dobbs from number 9. Number 9 being Mark Parrott in third place. Number 31. 31 belonging to there, Alan Oversby in third. And then in fourth position, number 23, Dave Madston Migdal. In fifth, number 98. 98 being Dave Moffat. And our top 6 completed across 4 ways for the 400s with number 16, John Burrows. Back to you for the 125s, Morris.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. 25, Paul Dobbs continues to lead that class. Sorry, that's the 400s. Just looking back, Mark Parrott, number 9 in the shake-up there as well. He's in second place in the 400cc event. So Chris Palmer from Robert Dunlop on the 125s. Paul Dobbs from Mark Parrott in the 400s. I can tell you we look as though we've had a number 1, I think, problems for Locker. I think Ian Locker stopped at the iron gate. Number 1, Ian Locker, stopped at the iron gate, so disappointment yet again today for Ian Locker, and problems for him. But it's a good battle between Chris Palmer and Robert Dunlop. Just 0.2 of a second separated them here at the completion of lap 2. I'm just beginning to lose where they're up to, but let's try Roy Moore across 4 ways, see if they're there.
Yes, it's Robert Dunlop who leads lap 3 here from Darran Lindsay, with Chris Palmer in third position. Number 29, Tony Court, now up to 4th, and in 5th place, number 32, Michael Dunlop. So a tremendous battle. The 3 of them are absolutely together as they went through here. In 6th place, number 52, Chris McGahn, and completing that was our top 6. And in 7th place, number 30 being Nigel Moore. That's the 125 125s, cross four ways, lap number 3. I think the best thing we can do, I don't think we'll get a chance to. The 400s aren't going that quickly, 44 and 59. Over to you, Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. I'll take the 125s through and then come straight back to you, because here's the race leaders. The probably, well, who's it going to be? We don't know. I can tell you it's Lindsay, Dunlop and Palmer. So Darran Lindsay leads that from Robert Dunlop and Chris Palmer, but only 1 second separate those three here at completion of lap 3 half distance. Let's go back to Roy for the 400s.
Yes, number 25 leads that. Number 25, Paul Dobbs, still leading the 400 class through here, followed by number 9, Mark Parrott, and then in third place, number 31, I think that was Alan Oversby, and it was. In fourth place, number 23 of those, Dave Madston Migdal, and then 21, 98, 16, 61, 50, 38 and 68 in that particular order. 56 and 87 are here through now. The 125s will be well past you, but the 400s should be approaching you in the not too distant future, Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. I think we've got Al Forrest down in 12th place in the 125s, but there's 59 through now, followed by 44. It won't be long before Paul Dobbs should be with us, number 25. I think Mark Parrott was lying in second place there, but here's the battle. Yes, 25 from 9. So that definitely is number 25, Paul Dobbs and Mark Parrott. Then 31, Alan Oversby, and 23, Dave Madston Migdal there in the 400cc class. So it's Darran Lindsay, Robert Dunlop, Chris Palmer, and the 125s, Paul Dobbs, Mark Parrott, and Alan Oversby, and Dave Madston Migdal in the 400cc class. 21, 28, 16 and 61 all safely through. I can tell you the quickest lap so far has been put up by Darran Lindsay at 95.386. Let's go back to cross four ways.
Yes, you must be on perfect timing, because we can hear them, and it was a three-man battle there in the 125s. And who's it going to be this lap? It's Darran Lindsay from Robert Dunlop with number 5, Chris Palmer right behind them. So a reversal of fortune there. Darran Lindsay now takes it, and he moves across to the right-hand side of the road, so Robert Dunlop can't get in behind his slipstream. There's Tony Court, number 29, I think it is. Yes, Tony Court. So fourth place for him. 55, 45 and 29 and 32. Another crossing machine there of Michael Dunlop. So that's the top 4, 5 through and 3 together. 52 just runs wide. That's Chris McGon, but he gets back on the pace and in tucked in behind them. And the last machine through is number 40, Sam Dunlop. And there's our friend Benny Jerbsnick, but they should be far from you, Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. So what am I looking for? 125s. Just Marilyn said to me, we're losing the will to live here. Darran Lindsay, Robert Dunlop, Chris Palmer. They were the first three at the completion of lap 3. Will that be the order at lap 4? But it's certainly making for exciting racing, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, here they come. Lindsay, Dunlop and Palmer. Slight gaps, but only 1.5 seconds separate the first three. It's about 0.7 of a second from Lindsay to Dunlop, and a similar margin from Dunlop to Palmer. It's a cracking 125cc race, that's for sure. 29 is through now. Let's go back to cross fours for the 400s.
Mark Parrott takes the lead in the 400 class. Number 9 first through here, followed by number 25. 25 being Paul Dobbs, so Mark Parrott leads. And then it's number 31, Alan Oversby, and then followed by number 23. 23, Dave Madston Migdals. As the rest stream through here, there's number 61 there. I think that's a distinctive style there in the 400 class. It's Maria Costello, it certainly was. But back to you, Morris, for an update.
Well, thanks, Roy. That's 88 that's going through there now. That's El Forrest and also Rob Knight. They're probably the last of the 125s before we get to, well, of course, last time it was Paul Dobbs, but we know there's been a change at cross four ways, and here comes the charge. What's it going to be? Well, they're back again, because Paul Dobbs has got back ahead of number 9. That's Mark Parrott. 31, 23, 59. So Alan Oversby and Dave Madston Migdal, Tony Court. They're all safely through, and they've completed lap 4. So it's Darran Lindsay, Robert Dunlop and Chris Palmer in the 125s. It's Paul Dobbs, Mark Parrott and Alan Oversby in the 400s. And they're all lapping round about the same. It's quite interesting that the quickest lap on the 400 is 2:41. Back to Roy.
Yes, good job. This is an over 12 laps, Morris, but certainly lap 5, I think they're approaching us here now. The 125s, the 3 of them absolutely together. Darran Lindsay just leads from Robert Dunlop. Dropping back a little bit now is Chris Palmer, but certainly a good old dice there between the 3 of them. And he has a very, very long look back over his shoulder to see Robert Dunlop. Well, Robert Dunlop has campaigned the 125s for many, many years and certainly given us some great enjoyment. There's Tony Court. So 4th place for him still, number 29, holding on to that 4th place in the 125s. But Mark Parrott was absolutely bang on the button down through here. 32 is there as well. Michael Dunlop. That's the way it worked out, I think, on the last particular lap. And the 400s now will probably be round Ballabeg and Hen. 51, 52 and 30 are having a good dice as well. Chris McGahn got back ahead of one of them anyway after his overshoot here, but they won't be too far away from you, Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. And as you speak, they're crossing Castletown Bridge into the corner. They'll be down through us fairly soon. I can give you another information that number 16, that's John Burrows, has stopped at the bridge. Okay, whoa, 51.4. 5 well. Darran Lindsay and Robert Dunlop. Well, Robert Dunlop was inches behind Darran Lindsay as they crossed a 0.11 of a second. They're on their 6th and final circuit, so 5 laps completed for the 125s. That's going to be a fantastic battle over this last lap. Watch that one. Lindsay, Dunlop and Palmer, just 1.6 seconds separate them. Chris Palmer almost sat back from watching that Lindsay and Dunlop duel. Let's go back to Roy across 4 ways.
Yes, Paul Dobbs back in the lead here across 4 ways. Number 25 from number 9, Mark Parrott. Just got 98 going through and 21 all in the 400 class, and 61 Maria Costello. And 50, I think that is, yes, certainly is. Number 50 there going through as well. On the, well, that was a different starter on that. On the 400s, we don't have a 50 down in our particular list, so we'll just have to check that one. But certainly on lap number 5 in the 400s, 25, 9, 31, 23, 98 and 21. And we'll just be able to get this one through before we get the 125s. Number 56, over to you, Morris.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. So we await the arrival of the 400s. There we go. 33, 31. 25 and 9, sorry, I just missed them. Paul Dobbs and Mark Parrott. Paul Dobbs continues to lead. Mark Parrott, I was just looking to see who 50 was. According to my computer screen, Roy, it should be Barry Wood. Anyway, let's just have a look now at the next 59 and 44. So we've got Lindsay, Dunlop and Palmer in the 125s, and it's close. And we've got Paul Dobbs and Mark Parrott separated by 1 second. Let's go back to Roy across 4 ways.
Yes, we're just looking for this last lap now. It could be an over-braking manoeuvre, but Robert Dunlop's got it from Darran Lindsay. Robert Dunlop leads through cross 4 ways, and there's number 3. You're just trying to see. He's absolutely tucked in right behind him as they go into Church Bends. But Robert Dunlop leads, but certainly Darran Lindsay hasn't given up on this one by the look of it. And number 5, Chris Palmer, I think he's just too far back to do anything about it. But what a battle they're going to have round the bridge as Tony Court goes through. He'll actually be hammering down through Great Meadow now. These little 125s, when you see one stripped down, you'd wonder how they do so much speed out of them at all. And there's number 32, which indicates number 32 is through, Michael Dunlop. We don't want to miss the finish of the 125. Morris.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. That's number 91 just going through there. And let's have a look. We've seen a couple on the bridge. This shouldn't be the race winner. It isn't. This is a retirement coming up for somebody, but the next two could be. Oh, they're together. They're together. They're together. Who's it going to be? It's on the nod. It's oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'll give it Dunlop, but there we go. I don't know. I'm not on the line. Please don't take that as gospel. But I thought it was about half a wheel. The computer shows Lindsay. Well, we'll get confirmation of that in a moment. I would have said it was half a wheel, but it's almost the 1/2000th of a second that we had this morning. How close can it get? Absolutely fantastic racing after 6 laps. What a superb performance on that 125, and it could be another victory for the great Robert Dunlop. But Darran Lindsay was hanging on there, sure. Chris Palmer has completed his race. I've missed all about the 400s. Roy, what's the score of the 400s? Sorry about that.
Paul Dobbs got a good lead, I would think. He's not close, Mark Parrott, but he's in a very safe second place. As the next go through, 25, 9, 31, 23, so it's as it was before. 31, Alan Oglesby, 23, Dave Madston Migdal, and number 98 there, Dave Moffat. That's positions in the 400s. But what a tremendous, we'd think we've done quite well to get all the timing on there, but a great win. We don't know who's won it yet, the 125, so you might know now, Morris, and look for the winners in the 400 class.
Yes, the winners in the 400 class have just gone through, and I can confirm that it was Dunlop, number 4, who nipped there, took the win coming out of Castletown corner. So the winners are Robert Dunlop and number 25 Paul Dobbs of the 2 classes. Robert Dunlop, I'll just try and get you the time. Now, you thought the last one was close at 1/2000th of the set. This is .001 of a second, Dunlop beat Lindsay. Chris, over to you.
Wow, he's just been told that Robert's just been told about George Pete's 0.001 of a second. Nicked it.
Yeah, just stole it. Yeah, went into the last turn a wee bit hot and just couldn't make the apex, so Darren got a bit of a run on me, but there weren't much in it, just down, going up through the gears. Whenever I get into 6th gear, I was able to pull him down, but the first 4 gears, you only get 4 to the line anyway, so yeah, it was pretty tight, yeah.
You have a habit of coming from behind to get Darren as well, don't you? This year.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's happened before, but that one was just about as close as a race as ever I had.
It's your 4th win around the Blount circuit.
Sorry?
It's your 4th win around here.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Wonder what speeds we were doing. Was it fast?
I don't know, Morris will tell me here, but that must mean a lot. I mean, you've had a great comeback this year. Obviously, the Northwest 200 was absolutely fantastic. Wins at Tandragee, etc. I mean, this as well, coming back here, 'cause you like this place.
Yeah, I do. I love coming to the Southern 100. The great committee here, and it's a great wee race, and pretty much usually blessed with good weather.
Usually, yeah. OK, thanks very much. Well done, Robert Dunlop. There's the winner. 2nd place by, well, nothing really. Sorry, Robert, let you get past there so we can have a quick word with Darren. You didn't lose by much there. 0.001 of a second.
It was a proverbial whisker, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
I tried to stick my head out a wee bit further to see. No, just that was good. Now, it was a good race all around the whole way. So it was, even with Chris and Ian, but must have got a wee break somewhere. And
Ian dropped out, unfortunately.
Right now I sort of pulled away, but I thought I would have maybe drafted Robert down towards stadium, but he done the old weaving technique and wouldn't let me catch a draft. So my last chance was Castle Corner, but that was a brilliant race. Sometimes you get a race that got as good as winning, so.
Yeah. Must be getting sick of him this year.
Well, we're creeping closer to him,
Oh, dear me.
The Ulster is yet to come.
Well done, Darran Lindsay, and Chris Palmer's already up on the podium. Derek's not there yet to do the thing, so I might just be able to get a quick word before Derek starts if I can. Good race, Chris, or just not keep with him, or?
Yeah, it was good. We just didn't have the same speed, to be honest. You can probably tell down the start finish they just blitzed me but I rode as hard as I could. Absolutely as hard as I could go, and at least we're on the podium.
That's the main thing. Well done, Chris.
All right, cheers.
There you go. There's your first 3. Just about to do the presentation, so I'll move out the way. Morris, if you could tidy up the 125s and then let us know the 400s, we can go and grab those guys.
Yes, I certainly can. The 125s, we've already said, what a fantastic race. Robert Dunlop beating Darran Lindsay by 0.001 of a second. Chris Palmer 3rd in that class, and he was only 3 seconds down on that fantastic battle. The 400s, yes, that was won by Paul Dobbs from Mark Parrott and Dave Madsden-Migdal. They're the first 3 who'll be looking for the podium position. So a great win, I think, also there for Paul Dobbs. All credit to him. He held off some great challenges from both Mark Parrott and Dave Madsden-Migdal, and of course Alan Oversby, who was also in that shake-up. But the first 3 there, Paul Dobbs, Mark Parrott, Dave Madsden-Migdal. Have you got those, Chris? No, Chris not there for the moment. OK, no doubt he'll come back to me and let me know what the position is down there, but we move onward. Oh, Chris is now ready. Rex, Chris?
Yeah, thank you very much. Here with Paul Dobbs, and disappointment with the big triumph earlier on, but second win here now, isn't it? You won at the Scene Packet too.
Yeah, it seems to get me every time. It does the first practice and then won't go after that for the race, and then we're away again.
What about the 400 zone?
Yeah, good. Mark's to give me a bit of a chase at one stage, but we just had a bit more legs than him.
Just a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, the clutch gave up on the 5th lap again, so I was thinking, oh God, here he comes. He's going to come past again.
And of course, if you would have been able to get behind Mark, you'd be able to get in the draft behind him, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, it's heaps faster behind him. I can't work out why though.
He loves it. The face on him. Good race home.
Thanks a lot.
I tell you, I'm dead. Dobbsy, well done. Well done, Mark. Good race. I mean, he just had a bit of legs on you there.
Yeah, he had a bit of legs on me, and he just got the back markers at the right place. The 125s going down into down into Wine Gates, and I couldn't get him till just after the hairpin and that. So he just managed to pull out a bit on me.
What about separating the 125s and the 400s? Good idea?
I think it's a good idea. It's just a shame we catch up with the back of him. I mean, it'd be the same if they'd done it the other way. If the 400s went first, then the leaders of 125s have the same problem. So there is no answer to it, so we'll just run with it. It's always a good race anyway.
Enjoying your week so far?
Yeah, I am. It's going well. I had a problem with the 600. Front brake faded away, so that was a non-entity. But apart from that, it's been great.
Well done, Mark.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks very
mate.
much.
That's all right, mate. You're
Love
welcome.
you too.
Yeah, lager shandy later. Thanks very much, Mark. Let's have a word with Dave Madsden-Migdal. Dave, very quickly, get that fag out of your mouth. What do you like? What happened to the big triumph?
I think the clutch or the gearbox has gone.
Again?
Yeah, I came out Church Bends and just no drive, so we just parked it up by Stadium.
It was turning into last year again with you and Alan Oversby, wasn't it?
It might have been, yeah. I haven't got the suspension sorted, so I was slightly slower than I wanted to be, but I think I had the measure of Alan then, really. But of course, and then he slowed anyway, so he had a bit of unluck as well. So no, it's not too bad.
What about the 400s? Few problems or?
No problem at all. It's just, we got away on the front row, but we got away, and Dave Muppet was in sort of like in front of us, and Mark got past down into Iron Gate. And I waited until we got really round Ballabeg before I got past him. So by that time they were overspeed and that were away.
Gone.
So I was having to try and play catch up all the time. But I managed to get Alan on the last corner. A bit of a do or die thing with a 125 in the way as well. So I don't think Alan's very happy. But no.
Say sorry now.
Well, it wasn't my fault anyway. It was got in the way. So I managed to tuck up in the inner side. So no, it was okay. We got third anyway. So
well done, Dave.
Thanks a lot.
There you go, Dave Madsen-Migdal, your third place man. Hi, Jill. Okay, back to you, Morris.
Machines for this senior support race over 8 laps, 34 miles, and a precursor, I suppose, to race 12, which is the next race, not race 11. No surprise there, but I understand we have an additional non-starter, and I'm looking down my programme to find it as a starter number 81. Additional non-starter, I'm told, is Callum O'Shea. So we don't expect him on the grid, but certainly in there is 52 in pole position. That's Chris McGann. Alongside him, number 83, already had a mention, Andy Cowan, could be one to watch. 48 also in there, John Krellin, so the first row is made up. Pretty well all there. The red flag currently being shown as the grid is checked by the officials before giving indication to put out the board to engage gear and watch lights. Pretty full grid. We're back 10 rows, certainly 30 or so, just less than that maybe with the odd non-starter. We mentioned plates, the red and yellow, Roy, just looking down here, so could be quite interesting. Obviously a mix of machinery there, the 1000s and the 600s, but indication being given that we're pretty well ready. Engage gear, watch lights. We're going to be away on this senior support race very shortly. Indeed, we're off. It was tight there. That really was tight. Steve McElvenna, number 84, trying to get down the inside from the second row, and it is pretty tight, but number 48, John Krellin, held his post, and wasn't quite enough room, I don't think, for number 84, but it's so important to get a good start. But I have to say, fortunately, every start we've had so far at this meeting has been pretty clean. Well, it's been very clean. Been excellent, in fact. And those machines now powering their way down towards Ballachagan, and a tremendous sight that is. But perfect conditions here. Lots of spectators enjoying fantastic racing in this 2006 Southern 100 meeting. So the senior support race underway. Of course, it's only the electronic timing, I suppose, that's enabled us to have these very close finishes, which may otherwise in years gone by been regarded as dead heats. They really are so close, it's almost half a wheel. Quite a number of non-starters I can give you from those that I originally read out. Number 109, which I didn't give you a name, I don't need to bother now because it's a non-starter. 37 was always going to be a bit iffy, Dean Cooper, he's another non-starter. 56, Jamie O'Brien didn't make it to the grid, nor did number 60. That's John Skymer. So as far as I'm aware, those are the non-starters, but still in excess of 20 competitors in this field for the senior support race. So they'll be with Roy Moore fairly shortly. Let's go out to cross four ways and see what the score is on lap one, Roy.
Yes, an unusual situation, isn't it, Morris, when you're there describing the start and then all of a sudden within the space of about 10 seconds they disappeared, but in the space of a bit more they're all here with us here. Number 52, that's Chris McGann, well out ahead of number 35 and 84 and 48, just numbers going through. We'll go back, there's number 83, Andy Cowan, so into 5th place for him, 82, 55, 90, 57, 72, 101, 89, just numbers 60, 58, 91, but certainly a very good lead there for number 52. Number 52 being Chris McGann. Well, in one lap to cross four ways, a tremendous lead from number 35 there. He's pulled a lot of stops out from Richard Eglin, I think it is the way it's pronounced, E-G-L-I-N. Then number 84 was in 3rd place, 84 being Stephen McElvenna. So that's the top three. Over to you, Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. They've been spotted on the bridge, so to speak, and Chris McGann, well, experienced rider, certainly number 52, started from pole position. Will he make that count? Crosses the line now. There's the 2nd place man. That'll give you some indication that already he's 3 seconds ahead of Richard Eglin. Stephen McElvenna, who was the man from the second row, number 84, who tried to get through. Well, he got through because he's in third place ahead of John Crellin. Then it's Andy Cowan, Tony Oates. Well, I don't know how many came together there. Really, that was just an absolute numbers. But what a fantastic sight in perfect conditions. Well, we'll have a look at the list. It's the easiest way, I'm afraid, because there's certainly no way you could commentate on those. But Chris McGahn leads from Richard Eglin by 3.1 seconds. They're followed by Stephen McElvenna, who's a second further back. A second further back on that is John Crellin. Then it's Andy Cowan in fifth, Tony Oates in sixth. Then it follows Mike Crellin, Mick Gunnins, Justin Croft, Adam Jones, Jamie O'Brien, Brian Appleton, Jeff Jones, Peter Simpson, Gareth Costello, Adam Charlesworth, Mick Gurnall, Carolyn Sells, Bill Callister, Dennis Booth and Jeremy Hill. That was the sequence of events from the electronic timing system. There's no way the naked eye could pick those up because there were bunches of 5 and 6 came through here together at tremendous speed. An opening lap for Chris McGahn of 2 minutes 39.234. And as I say, that's given him an advantage of just over 3 seconds over Richard Eglin. Maybe a bit of a surprise there, Richard, but certainly in that second place. And Stephen McElney, who came through from the second row of the grid, eventually muscled his way through and is in third place. For the moment, they'll be over, hopefully, at Cross Four Ways. Let's go to Roy and find out.
Not as yet, Morris, but certainly plenty of time to get them as they approach here, with Chris McGahn taking that big lead. There is a machine interview now. Down through the box it goes, and it still is number 52, Chris McGahn, who leads this one. And he seems to be pulling out a bit of a lead, but number 84 looks as though he was going to go around the outside there. Stephen McElvenna off number 35, but certainly didn't make it. But 35, they're holding on to that third position, Richard Eglin, and they stream through as 7.99 as the last one through. Our positions 52, 35, 84, 57 is through there as well, 72. You look at the program to see him. Number 72 is Adam Charlesworth, and certainly a distinctive line there from number 102, Keith Mackay. Number 65 got that newcomer's jersey on. Number 65, Marie Hodgson, a newcomer to this circuit, but not a newcomer to the Isle of Man. She used to live here. Back to you, Morris.
Yes, thank you, Roy. Race leader with us now. Extended advantage, I suspect, certainly is Chris McGahn. Second lap there, 2:32.302 over 100 miles an hour. 35, 48 and 84. It's going to be close for that second place. Richard Eglin being chased. John Crellin's moved up to third ahead of Steve McElvenna. 83, Andy Cowan. Tony Oates. And then it's Mike Crellin, Mick Gunnins, Justin Croft. Not quite as hectic it was at the first lap, but hectic enough. And 56 moves around the outside. Jamie O'Brien of Adam Jones there. With Jeff Jones, Brian Appleton, Adam Charlesworth, Gary Costello, Peter Simpson, Mick. Well, you can hear them. Well, you can't hear them at the grandstand because simply the noise is tremendous here as they go back in groups. I think we got down as far as Gareth Costello. He's in 15th place. He's followed by Peter Simpson, Mick Gurnall, Bill Callister, Jeremy Hill, Dennis Booth and Carolyn Sells, who's in 21st place. And I think we've got about 21 on the same lap. In fact, 21 circulating within this event. Chris McGahn leads by 6.6 seconds now on completion of lap 2 ahead of Richard Eglin. But Richard is only 0.7 of a second ahead of John Crellin, who's moved up into third place, relegating Stephen McElvenna to fourth, and he's 0.5 seconds ahead of Steve McElvenna. But a lap, the first 100-mile lap of this race, to Chris McGahn on lap 2, 2:32.302. Andy Cowan is in fifth. Fancied runner, we expected him maybe to be higher than that. Tony Oates is in sixth. What's the position at Cross Four Ways, Roy?
Well, we'll be able to tell you very, very shortly, and it's the same as it has been the previous 2 laps. Number 52, Chris McGahn, pulling out more of an advantage, I would say. In fact, quite a bit of an advantage from the second man into there, 35 and 84. 35, 84, 35 being Richard Eglin up to second, and up to I think there's been a bit of a change there. 84 certainly has Stephen McElvenna into third. Then number 48, John Crellin up into fourth. 69 is with us here now. Number 69 being Tony Oates, and then 3 absolutely together. These little 600s, well, they're absolutely flying, and the bigger bikes straight out of the crate, and they can do these fantastic laps on them. 55, 60, 12, 72 as quickly as that. So good dicing round the field. 6 together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last of those being number 73, but the leaders should be with you, Morris.
Well, the leader certainly is, because he's gone. There he goes. Chris McGahn, and well, there's no sign of the second place man. Chris McGann absolutely powering his way around this circuit, well ahead of Richard Eglin. Then 84 and 48, Steve McElvenna and John Crellin, they've swapped places, of course, as they had when they were out at Cross Four Ways. Richard Eglin, but he's now 10 seconds down on Chris McGann. Another quick lap by Chris McGann, 2:30.6, 101.594. He's lapping 4 or 5 seconds ahead of anybody else. There's the group, 68, 21 and 99. So through there we had Andy Cowan, Tony Oates, Mike Crellin, Mick Goodings, Justin Croft, all safely negotiated 3 laps. But it's Chris McGann who leads by 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at this fantastic sight. All those 600 together. Just listen to that. Absolutely beautiful. So amongst that lot, I can tell you, we've got Jeff Jones, Adam Charlesworth, Adam Jones, Mick Gurnall, Gareth Costello, Brian Appleton, Peter Simpson, Bill McAllister, Jeremy Hill, Dennis Booth and Carolyn Sells, and another couple just through there. But really is a fantastic sight around this circuit in perfect conditions, and certainly it's quick, it's fast, it's exciting. Chris McGann, good lap, 101.594, the fastest lap on lap 3. Richard Eglin also had his fastest lap, but still dropped time to Chris McGann. But he's still ahead of Steve McElvenna, who holds that 3rd place currently from John Crellin, but it's very close there. Only a second separate those 3 from that 2nd place position. What will the position be at Cross Four Ways? Let's go to Roy Moore and find out.
Yes, I would imagine you'd be absolutely on the timing, because Chris McGann, same distinctive line, cranks it in, takes it over. Neat little style that he's got there. Chris McGann safely through and seems to be pulling out an advantage on the 2nd place man. In fact, it's increasing, I would think, but number 84 nips up the inside of 35 there. Stephen McElvenna up the inside there of 35, Richard Eglin, and takes over second place, 35 into 3rd, and then number 48 John Crellin still holding on to that 4th place as they sort themselves out here. We'll be able to tell you that number 83 Andy Cowan there into 5th place, and then number 38 38 is with us now, Mike Crellin, and he's just holding off number 21 and 99, 21 being Mike Goodings and number 99 being Justin Croft. We can tell you then it's number 69 in 9th place, but the leader should be with you, Morris.
Spot on, he is. There he is. Crosses the line now. And, well, a country mile, really, I suppose. Certainly in terms of the racing we've had this week, this is a distance and a bit. But this is a battle. There's a battle on for this 2nd place for sure. 84. Steve McElvenna has got that 2nd place at the moment, ahead of John Crellin. Both of them have overtaken Richard Eglin, who held that position for the first 3 laps, but not anymore. Chris McGann now from Stephen McElvenna, and McElvenna will be on the chase, but, well, he's nearly 13 seconds down on Chris McGann. 83 Andy Cowan, almost a lonely race for him at the moment, but here's his chasing pack. 38 Mike Crellin, Mick Goodings and Justin Croft complete their half distance and 4 laps. Then Tony Oates also through. There should be Jamie O'Brien. No, it's Jeff Jones, so he's ahead of Jamie O'Brien, and we haven't had Jamie O'Brien. 72, then 87, 54, 110, they're all through. This is the group that's been flying through themselves. There's number 90 and a retirement there indicated for Brian Appleton, indicates his intention to pull into the paddock. But the whole group were through there. Adam Jones, Mick Gurnall, Gareth Costello, Bill McAllister, Peter Simpson. Another retirement. That is 56. That's Jamie O'Brien. We had expected him some moments ago, but clearly mechanical problems and a retirement coming up for him. But it's Chris McGann from the new 2nd place man, Steve McElvenna. John Crellin's in 3rd. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Roy.
Yes, 13 seconds and increasing seems to be the margin, because he's here now, down through the box, same style. Takes it very, very neatly indeed, does number 52, Chris McGann, a resident in Peel now in the Isle of Man. Got a very distinctive registration plate on his machine too, R350 man on his van. And there's the battle there between number 35 and number 84, and 48 and 35 is there, but it's in 2nd place, number 84, Stephen McElvenna, within 3rd place, 48 John Crellin, so up to 3rd for him now, followed by number 35 being Richard Eglin, so he's moving a little bit backwards now as the boys are putting the pressure on him, but certainly 83 has held his position. Andy Cowan, absolutely delighted with that win earlier on in the day, I'm certain, and 38 is here with us now, Mike Crellin, and that battle there that's going there, but I'm sure the leader won't be far away from you, Morris.
No, he isn't. He's here, Roy. Spot on once again. And there he is, crossing the line now. 5 laps completed for Chris McGahn. And we'll wait. And we'll wait. Maybe 14, 15 seconds. He really has this race in his grasp. Only 2 machines this time. 48 and 84. John Crellin's moved to second ahead of Steve McElvenna. Richard Eglin still now in that 4th place, but there's been a change there. John Crellin's moved up into 2nd place. Good performance by John, and in fact he's reduced Chris McGahan's margin. Could be, of course, that Chris McGahan's getting those quality signals that he needs to tell him that he's got an 11-second advantage and no real need to bang it on much more than is necessary. Winning in the slowest time possible, 83. Andy Cowan. So I suspect it's McGahn who's got the message that he's got a comfortable advantage. Here they go again. 38, 21 and 99. Mike Crellin, Mick Goodings, Justin Croft. Then we get a couple of lonely riders, and then we'll get another group, I'm sure. 69 and 57, Tony Oates and Jeff Jones. And very shortly there'll be 5 or 6 machines coming down here together. It really is a splendid sight. And here we come. Here they come. They've been all the way through. 72, Adam Charles with Adam Jones, Gareth Costello, and there it is, Mick Gurnall, Bill Collister, Dennis Cruz, Peter Simpson, Jeremy Hill, Carolyn Sells. They really must be enjoying themselves in fine style here on this circuit. So it's Chris McGahn who leads John Crellin by 11 seconds. John Crellin having taken that 2nd position from Steve McKelney on lap 5, but Steve is only 0.6 of a second behind John. Richard Eglin appears now to be losing a bit of pace. Let's go to cross 4 ways.
Yes, I'm pretty certain you won't be too far away. You've got that absolutely perfect again, Morris. Number 52, red number plated, number 52 of Chris McGahn is through. 13 seconds the advantage on that last lap, and it looks as though it's maintaining, but I don't think number 48 is in the mix. He is, though. Number 48 is there. It's John Crellin who's maintaining that second and pulling away from number 84. 84 being Stephen McElvenna, and then the last number through is number 35, holding on to 4th place. Number 35, Richard Eglin. So he's getting left behind a little bit there now in that battle at the top. But certainly Chris McGahn took this right from the scruff of the neck. The first lap here across 4 ways, about a 3 or 4 second advantage, and building on that all the time. Number 83, Andy Cowan, is through as well. And then we just got time, I think, for number 38. We just have. It's Mike Crellin. Back to you, Morris.
Thanks, Roy. Here's the race leader, Chris McGahn, crossed the line now, lap 6 completed. Now then, will John Crellin have made any impression on him? It was 11 seconds the completion of that lap. Chris McGahn's quickest lap was on lap 3. John Crellin's 4:46.84. There's John Crellin, Steve McElvenna not far behind him. The lead's down to 10 seconds, but it's only 1 second. There's only 2 laps to go. Second the lap won't do it, that's for sure. 10 seconds from Chris McGahn. John Crellin's quickest lap was actually on lap 5 when he lapped at 101.566, but the quickest lap of the race so far was Chris McGahn on lap 3 at 101.594, but the first 3 all lapping in excess of 100 miles an hour. Stephen McElvenna's quickest lap being on lap 5 as well. That's Andy Cowan going through there. Mike Crellin should be here soon. Indeed he is, crossing the line now in 6th place, with Mick Goodings in 7th and Justin Croft in 8th. So 6 laps completed, 2 to go, and an advantage of 10 seconds of Chris McGahn. That's Tony Oates and Jeff Jones having their own private battle past here. And, well, the growing time is just having a look at that. The difference there, just 1 second between Tony Oates and Jeff Jones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines. Here we are. This is the race that really has had some fun in it. Gareth Costello has moved up into 11th ahead of Adam Charles, with Adam Jones, Mick Gurnall, Dennis Cruz and Peter Simpson, Jeremy Hill, Carolyn Sells and Bill Callister. Well, all those 8 or so riders have been competing together and circulating together. Let's go to Roy at cross 4 ways.
Well, you can't get it wrong all the time, Morris, and you're absolutely right again. Number 52, Chris McGahn, lap 8 here at cross 4 ways, 13 seconds, I think, increasing. Certainly it's not dropping back. Or John Crellin, number 48, well, his ambition is to climb Everest. Well, certainly Everest is here this afternoon, and 48, it's John Crellin into 2nd place, and number 84, Stephen McElvenna 3rd. There's number 35, Richard Eglin, so not making much impression on that particular 3 in front of him, so 4th place for him, exactly as it was on the last lap. 52, 48, 84 and 35, the order through here, and all lapping at over 100 mile an hour. It's hard to imagine when you've got a course with 3 hairpin bends virtually that you can get round over here at 100, but certainly that's what they're doing. And what we've got to look forward to later on is the championship race, number 83, but the leader should be with you, Morris.
Yeah, Roy, as you know he is. He's here. Spot on time again. 52. Chris McGahan. Lap 7 completed. He gets the flag to indicate he's on his 8th and final circuit ahead of these two, the chasing pack, 48 and 84. The battle is on for second place. The lead remains 10 seconds for Chris McGahan. So John Crellin just 1 second ahead of Steve McElvenna. There's Richard Eglin dropping back now after a game performance, certainly holding on to second place for much of this event, but now I think prepared to settle for 4th, and certainly not a lot he can do about that. So it looks as though positions certainly 1st and 4th are set. There is a bit of a doubt about the second place. Would it be John Crellin or Steve McElvenna? So Chris McGahan, less than 4 miles to go to the checkered flag for his victory here, and I'm sure that will be well deserved. There's Andy Cowan, and I'm sure Chris will be absolutely delighted with that. A wire-to-wire victory in the offing for him. Mike Crellin in 6th place, number 38. 21 and 99, Mick Goodings and Justin Croft, and 2 more, Tony Oates and Jeff Jones. And we await these 6, 7 or 8 that'll come together from the Castletown corner fairly shortly indeed. But Chris McGahan, a growing time of 17 minutes 51.017, and his best speed on lap 3, 101.594, but consistently lapped in excess of 100 mile an hour. There's 101, Gareth Costello. Now here they come. Adam Charles, Derek Jones, Mick Gurnall, Peter Simpson, Dennis Booth, Jeremy Hill, Carolyn Sells, and it's time to go to Cross Four Ways and Roy Moore.
Right on the apex of the bend, you caught him there. You were just about tenth of a second late. Chris McGahan safely through on the last lap, and making no doubt about it, but 84 has got ahead of 48, but he runs a little bit wide, unfortunately, and John Crellin gets back to him. He misses a gear, so I think he outbraked himself coming in here to Cross Four Ways, and John Crellin got it back, but 84, Stephen McElvenna had got up to second, and then he was back down to third again as quickly as it happened. I think he couldn't have been far away from the little bales that are just on the exit there. He had to brake hard to miss that, and then missed the gear again. The front wheel came up, and John Crellin nipped up the inside to regain that second place, and would happily have the momentum to take him into Church Bends well ahead, and then the big dash down through Great Meadow. But we don't want to miss the finish for Chris McGahan, who does a very good barbecue. Morris.
Yes, thanks, Roy. And here is the race winner. The checkered flag is out. He crosses the line now. It's a win for Chris McGahan. 20 minutes 23.184. A fantastic performance, and his advantage over this man who crossed the line now, John Crellin, got the advantage there out at Cross Four Ways, although he had held that slightly. But that's been a good battle for that second place between him and Stephen McElvenna. But John Crellin eventually successful in that battle. 10 seconds behind Chris McGahan and just 1.6 seconds ahead of Steve McElvenna. Finishing in 4th place is Richard Eglin. He completes his 8 laps. His quickest lap was actually on lap 5, 99.122. But the first 3 all lapped in excess of 101 miles an hour. So what a fantastic race we've had for the senior support race. And we look forward, of course, to, the blue ribband of the meeting very shortly indeed. But hopefully with Chris McGahan, John Crellin and Stephen McElvenna in there. Chris, are they with you?
They certainly are. Chris McGahan just been handed by Andy Kershaw. And I'll let him have a big glug on a well-known brand. I'm going to say it, Boddington's anyway. Are you going to? How much is that has he drank? That's half a can gone in one go. He's just done 3 races and then only came in. And his first words to Andy were, "Who said I'm too old?"
Yeah. Well, I'd say a very, very big thanks to Tiny McKinstry who lent me this bike. People told him a lot of quicker people could have been on it.
Yeah, well, they are.
And big thanks to Dave Hagan, because I had terrible handling problems with it at TT, and we didn't know what direction to go in. I gave the bike to Dave about a week and a half ago, and he's dialed it and he said, that should be about right. And it's absolutely perfect, absolutely superb. I just wish it had been like this for the TT.
What's it like over the back of the circuit? So I know you were saying the TT was scaring the daylights out of you on the bumps.
Well, I rode it at the steam packet race. I just did 1 lap and it scared me that much. I just put it straight back in the van. and I'm only just getting used to it because it's just so good now. It's untrue.
So quick.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing thing. I've still got the speedo on it, and it's doing 185 at the end here.
That's a bit fast, isn't it?
It is for me.
Well done, Chris.
Thanks very much.
Finish the bodies now. Cheers, Chris McGahn. Thank you very much. Let's get in with John, if I can. Excuse me a moment. John, well done. Good race.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
You did enjoy that, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just a bit tired now. Yeah.
Just a bit. So you've had a lot of injuries over the past few years, and is that coming back in this heat?
No, I've got over them now.
You're over them now?
With a physio, so I'm 99%, so that's good enough for
you
me.
Need that extra percent to get up that mountain, eh?
Oh, good, I do. I'll give that another shot next year, Chris.
Is that the plan, is it?
It is, yeah. Everest next year, it'll be well.
And Stephen right behind you, who's catching you up as well.
I know he passed me, and I got him again, and got a bit close out there.
Excellent.
It's exciting stuff.
Well done, John.
Thank you.
There you go. Let's get to the third place man, the man from Randallstown. Steve, well done, newcomer. Excellent.
I have enough of that there. Dead on by.
John was just saying you got your nose in front a couple of times.
I was dicing about out in the last lap there, so we were on the way to road ends. I think we're getting tired. That's what the crack was.
And for those people, you got a bit of arm pump as well?
Yep.
Just say for those people who don't know what a road end is, places like the bridge and the place across four ways, yeah? What do you think of the place first time here?
Aye, brilliant. It's just at home with only more walls and hedges.
And Walderstown the weekend?
Oh, aye, definitely.
Definitely. Well done, Steve.
Dead on, cheers.
There you go, Steve McElvenna there getting third place on his first time here, so he's a happy camp and shaking his arms vigorously, trying to get the blood flow back into it. Good race, Morris. Back to you.